health doesn't only mean your physical health and what you aesthetically look like. Health is also spiritual, emotional, physical, all of it, all rolled in, your mental health as well. All of it rolled into one. And until all of that is in check and you have all of that in order, you're really not a well-rounded, healthy person.
Ninjas, have you heard about the United States Ninja League huge comp that's coming up this April? Today, Michelle, the host of this upcoming TV series, is going to tell us all about the big event. Remember, you heard about it first from the Ninjababes, and keep in mind as you listen today that you can get half off your registration for the event when you use code Ninjababes, all caps. So get ready to get excited about this huge event and this televised series that's going to be coming to our Ninja community. I will be sharing all the registration info that you will need at the end of the episode, but just remember, you can use code Ninjababes and get half off registration. Hey, and welcome to the Ninjababes podcast. I'm Kara, and I'm here with Michelle Desormeaux. Welcome.
Hi. Sorry. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to introduce you to the Ninja community. I know that you have a special place in the community that we're going to get to and explain how you stepped into Ninja. But Ninja is also new to you, which is exciting. So I can kind of introduce you more to Ninja and we can welcome you into our Ninja community. So thanks for being here with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited and always ready to learn something new as well. So I'm ready to, learn it, and I'm all ears.
Yes. Awesome. So you've been involved with the fitness community for a long time, and just tell us more about what do you do now as your job, but also what is your passion in fitness shows and what you do so in fitness competitions. So just explain to us, like, who are you now and what's your past? Like, what have you been involved with?
Okay, well, so I got started in the fitness industry 23 years ago. I started teaching fitness classes my first semester in college. And I know, crazy, huh? And then from there, it just kind of evolved, and I've never stopped. I've been teaching fitness the whole time, and I'm also a dance teacher. I've been dancing since I was 2 as well. But I love movement, and I love music. So fitness just kind of, it's like just in my blood, I guess. So I've been teaching. I've been a gym owner as well, or a studio owner, I should say. And currently now I am teaching at a gym here in Lafayette, and I'm also a master trainer for an international company called Pound Fitness. It's a group fitness exercise, if you're familiar with them. So I'm a master trainer for them and a presenter. And that's it as far as what I'm doing now. I haven't been traveling much. There hasn't been any, certifications going on because of the whole past year. But I just teach my classes here. I'm just happy that the gym is open. Thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's been a crazy year, and I always tell people when I'm doing video interviews that I love doing them because this is how I'm meeting new people lately. It's like doing interviews like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what, I know you've been involved. I want to explain more of this later, but I guess we can just jump into it now. Okay. I know you've been involved with different fitness competitions. Could you tell us about the competition that you won in not too long ago, right?
Okay, so I'll start with how I got started with those. I always wanted to compete in a fitness show, and I did pageantry years ago, and so I'll be honest with you, I was scared of the fitness realm of things. It's very intimidating, So finally, my sister was like, I'm always the guinea pig. I have an older sister, and she was like, you do it and I'll do it. So I was like, sure, all right, let's go. So I went. I competed in the WBFF, an amateur show in 2015, and I won my first show, and I got my pro status at that show. And from there, I competed in the World Championships, and I got 8th in the world that year in 2015. And then I competed again in 16 in the World's show and got about 13th, I guess. And then from there, I kind of took a break because my dad was older and he was sick and he was dying. So I took a couple years off of that just to be with my family. But COVID got me fired up again for some reason earlier this year. I was like, you know what? I want to do it again. that's my passion. I love it. I love being on stage. I love competing. I love fitness. Do it.
Hmm.
So I started training for what was supposed to be the World Championships in August of this year, but it got canceled 5 weeks before the show.
Oh, wow.
So I know. So I just continued my training and my diet, and they had our only pro show of the year in Miami back about 5 weeks ago in November, and so I competed and I won that title, and woohoo! So now the new goal is to win the World Championship title coming up in August of this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I was so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. There's so much hard work goes into that, and it's a commendable. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I want to, so like, okay, put that story on pause. I'm going to definitely come back to it, but I'm wondering then, is your journey through those competitions, is that how you found Ninja or like fell into being involved with Ninja?
Actually, no.
Okay.
But my master trainer position is how this all came about. Um,
Okay.
I was presenting Pound Fitness at the Miami Fit Fest in January of last year, and Richie, the owner of USNL, was there with. He had a little bit of an obstacle course there, and we just met. And he came to my Pound session, and we just kept talking the whole time that I was there. You know, we just crossed paths, and he's so inspiring and so positive. And we just kind of stayed in touch over social media over the past year. And he asked me one day, because I do a lot of videos on my social media. He asked me one day if I'd ever emceed anything before. And I was like, well, actually, I have. Nothing big, just, little local events. But
Yeah.
so he asked me if I would like to MC the upcoming TV series of the USNL tournament. So that's how
Awesome.
I got involved.
I love it.
Yeah.
So cool. So that brings us to then, can you explain more what is USNL? And it stands for United States Ninja League.
Yes,
Am I right?
ma'am.
Okay.
So the USNL is they do have gyms, and it is also a league. The gyms or the license is actually going to be available at the end of 2022, so the end of next year for gym owners and for remote owners. It's also a league where Richie has obstacles set up at some of the bigger fitness shows like FIBO and FitCon and Europa Games. And what's coming up, it is going to be there's two things that are happening. There is a Ultimate Ninja prize that is going to be going out, and the title will be given to one person. That is going to be a 100 athlete um, co-ed competition, and it's also going to be a pro tournament.
Okay.
So what happens with that one, the way, since it's co-ed, it's going to be the men and the women competing. They're going to take their top man, top woman, and then they get to the end, and those two will compete with each other, and then whoever wins that will be named the Ultimate Ninja. And then with all of those 100 athletes that were started off in that competition, they're going to choose 10 different teams that are going to represent 10 of the major cities from the United States. And they're going to be categorized in the three different regions. And they will compete in a 10 series, 10 episode TV series ninja tournament, all against each other.
That's so exciting. There's just like a lot going on there, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really cool.
It's a lot going on and a lot of fun. There is also a $10,000 prize for the Ultimate Ninja.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. So that initial competition with the 100 elite athletes, that will be in Florida, right?
Yes, both of them will be in Miami, Florida. One day will be the 100 athletes, and then the next filming day will be all of the teams competing against each other.
Got it. Okay. So how can people register or try out, or like what is the process to be one of those athletes in Miami?
So register at usnl.com, or usninjaleague.com,
Mm.
and you can register there, and then you can sign up for the tournament as well there.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, and we'll definitely link to all these things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So then moving on, like the next day, like you said, would be teams. Do you know at all how the teams would be decided or broken up?
So it's going to be by their region from where where
Okay.
they're from in the United States, of course, and then by their speeds as well.
Got it. This is very exciting. I'm
I
like
know.
really looking forward to this.
I know. I'm always in for a good tournament.
Yeah. So you'll be there emceeing, and then do you know for later on then, if I'm assuming, after those teams are decided, will there be more filming and competitions then in the different regions?
No, it's just going to be the
Just those two
competition
days?
on that day.
Got it. Okay.
And then from there, we'll take all the footage from that day and split it up into the 10 series or the 10
Makes sense.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it will be broadcast on BN Sports TV and all their associated platforms later this year in the summertime.
That's really exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah, awesome. I know like Ninja has had obviously American Ninja Warrior, which has been on NBC the past 12 seasons. There's also been UNX, which has been a smaller ninja league that had a I think at this point a one season run with like live broadcasting online. It's different to have this that will be on TV, maybe not live or maybe not on NBC, but it's like a different, outlet for us to get our names out there and to compete and be seen and just enjoy it. So it's really
Exactly.
exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So then do you know obviously you'll be there the whole time. People will get to meet you and like hang out. But that's really exciting. Do you know if they'll do anything else during that series that's like highlighting the stories of the athletes or anything like that?
Yes, they will be highlighting the stories of the athletes throughout the series. So that should be really fun to get to know these athletes and kind of where they're from and what their stories are and, why they compete and what their passion is behind the competition. So
That's awesome.
I'm excited to read all that. I love seeing inspirational stories.
Yeah, and that's such a huge part of Ninja Warrior. On the actual NBC TV show, like they always highlight those stories, but within the whole community, like we spend hours and hours developing our stories because when we apply for the show, we have to have our casting video that explains who we are, why we should be picked, and so it's neat to have like another place to carry on that story besides just like social media or our own personal channels. But
Yes,
it's awesome.
absolutely. I agree.
So I know you're new to Ninja. You haven't really tried Ninja yet on your own, but do you think it's something that you would try? Or do you think it's something that you might try that weekend?
Maybe so. I might try. I get a little scared because I had to have a back surgery 6 years ago. So
Okay.
I get a little worried with things like that, but I would
Yeah.
love to do it. It looks like a lot of fun. So I might be, playing around on one of those courses.
Yeah, totally. Well, there'll be plenty of ninjas there that weekend to help you out and give you pointers. So
Yes, yes, I can actually listen to some of them and maybe do it the safe way.
yeah, definitely. So getting back to some of your own competitions and what you've been involved with, I know you mentioned how you got involved and kind of your sister pushing you in there, but what was it that really like attracted you to wanting to try and like wanting to and being willing to put yourself out there?
So the older I've gotten, I've started really trying to dig in deep. This is a good question to why I do things.
Yeah.
Used to when I was younger, and people find this throughout the evolution of their life. When I was younger, it was, we're young and we're selfish, and it's all about me, 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 me. Um, and then now that I'm older, I've realized that it's time to grow up and there are other people in the world besides me, and once I started really trying to help others, I realized that that's when I've really had the biggest growth in my life. And my passion behind competition, and I know it sounds silly, is really so I can have a platform and to be able to try to reach more people and more young women and more women who struggle with body image, or,
Mhm.
with their eating and with their working out or just life in general. So
Mhm.
I do it more for the platform status than the title.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think I noticed on your Instagram, you do a lot of your own work, just teaching about nutrition, but also teaching people how to, like you said, get out of that negative mindset of what their body should look like or what, like this, disillusionment illusionment of what is most important when
Yeah.
they look at themselves. So Yeah. Do you feel like that's a big part of what you try to put out on social media or what you teach to the people you work with?
And yeah, it's something that I'm very passionate about because like I said earlier, I've been in dancing since I was 2, and um, dancing is even though it's beautiful and it's awesome, I love dancing. That arena is a very harsh one. And what I mean by that is body image and what you should look like. And, you know, I, I always wanted that ballerina body. I wanted to be tall and thin with the long giraffe legs, and I'm short and I'm an athlete, so I struggled with loving my body for what God gave me. And I wanted something else for so long that I really ended up hating my body. And it's it's such a struggle. And I know the stuff that I went through, and I really hope that I can get through to younger girls, especially. And I mean, I'm not discounting us older people, but I really want to get through to younger people so they can start loving themselves earlier in life.
Of course. Yeah. It's such a formative time in life when you're young and you have all these messages coming at you, and it's easy to just take the one that seems the most glamorous or like the one that seems most important at that moment. I know I've shared this story on the Ninjababes before, but for me growing up, I was always very naturally skinny and was athletic and always moving around. Um, but I seemed to always be praised for the fact that I was skinny, and it wasn't even like I was trying to be. I was just a preteen, a teen who probably had a really fast metabolism and was like always climbing things. Um, and so, but I was always like praised for being skinny, and so often even I would find, whether it was at like a social gathering or church or something, um, I'd be like introduced, and whenever I'd meet someone, they'd be like, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so skinny," or like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes and you're so thin." And it was just like that combo of like, "Oh, so my beauty and my worth is always linked to my body size." Like no one had to, like no one put it that way, but in my brain, that was the message I always got. Um,
Exactly.
and it took a long time to kind of undo that language in my mind. And throughout high school into college, I struggled with just like a disordered way of eating. I wouldn't say that I was diagnosed with anything, but I definitely had like such a struggle with my body size and how I ate and how, if I was like using up enough calories to like use up what I ate that day. Like I had that really like twisted relationship with food in that way. And it really wasn't until after college when I started strength training at the gym and I started to really get stronger and feel good feeling strong, but then also realizing that the numbers on the scale were going up. And it actually wasn't a bad thing. It actually meant I was just getting stronger. But it was this moment of like panic and also like realization of like, wait, this isn't bad, and I actually feel really good about myself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh
So I
yeah.
relate with that, and I really appreciate people like you who are, working to encourage the younger generation and just teach people how to like undo that tangle in their mind.
Yeah, it's a struggle. And something else that I really want people to understand as well is that health doesn't only mean your physical health and what you aesthetically look like. Health is also um excuse me, spiritual, emotional, physical, all of it, all rolled in, your mental health as well, all of it rolled into one. And until all of that is in check and you have all of that in order, you're really not a well-rounded, healthy person. Um, so that's just kind of some other stuff that I teach and help people with as well.
Um, what would you say has been like your biggest motivation or your biggest inspiration in your own journey?
Oh, I would say my back surgery. So, um, I was always the one who was like 100% go, 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 go. Not like, I mean, I did so much cardio, I did so much. And then, I it was kind of an emergency back surgery. It wasn't like go to the emergency room, have surgery, but I injured myself skiing, but it didn't herniate like that day. And probably a week later, I was teaching at my studio, squatted down, teaching a kids class, and it herniated, the disc herniated, and I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I couldn't, like, I was out. And it was pressing on my nerves so bad that I could not stand. And I mean, I remember going to the doctor and I had to run in and lay down on the bed. But they had to do surgery as quick as possible, which it took me 3 weeks because I didn't know what doctor I wanted to use, which I probably shouldn't have waited that long, because by the time I had surgery, my doctor was like, we're a little worried that you might have permanent damage to these nerves. And I had this thing where I would walk, and then after surgery, I would walk and then I would just fall because my right leg would give out because it had been numb for so long. And it was very worrisome that I would never be able to walk properly again for me. And so at that point in my life, it really made me step back and realize, we only get one body. Take care of it. And B, just listen to your body. Most importantly, listen to your body, because if it's telling you something hurt, which this wasn't my case, but if it's telling you something hurts, then stop, because you will get hurt. But then I realized that at that point, it's more about being healthy rather than what I look like. Because at that point, I was still going for the aesthetic looks. And it had nothing to do with my inner health or with what I was eating or what I was drinking or what I was putting into my body. It was purely aesthetic. And from that point, that's when I decided to start competing, and I learned a better relationship with food. And it's just been uphill since then, I guess.
Wow, yeah, it's crazy sometimes how some sort of tragedy or just huge struggle can shift our mindset, shift the way that we're thinking about ourselves and thinking about life, and really push us into a good direction.
I agree. I agree. And I always say, and all these things are cliche, but it's like when you struggle, it's like you're in a cocoon. And then whenever you come out of that struggle, you're going to be the beautiful butterfly, because you're going to know so much more. And you learn from those mistakes. And, or if you choose to learn from those mistakes, we should always view things as a learning opportunity and be solution oriented rather than problem oriented. But yeah, I'm very thankful for the struggles that I've had, because I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I think that's awesome and so important. Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
Is there any other advice that you would have for women or for teens who might be listening?
yes. So I was thinking about this one earlier for women and young women, and this is probably because I struggled with this a lot, and I wish someone would have told me at a younger age. Don't, and this is another cliche, don't be so stuck on being worried about what other people think of you. I struggled so much with worrying about if people thought I chewed my food funny, or if I said something dumb, or if I asked a question that I thought was dumb, or, I was so worried about what they thought that I felt like I was living in a straitjacket. And I was actually training for, this is silly, like I said, I used to do pageants. I was training with a lady who was helping me with interviews. And she said to me in there, it was part of the training, she said, think about it like this. If there's a group of women or a group of whatever, men, whoever, a group of people, and they're looking at you and you walk into the room and they all start laughing, don't automatically think they're laughing at you, because most of us will, but don't do that. Because if you simply turn around and look, they might be laughing at something else. And I was like, well, that's true. I never thought about that. It seems so simple, but I never thought about that. And then the other thing that stuck out to me was this, and this is such good advice. There really is only three things that we as humans can control. And it's what we think, what we say, and what we do, how we react to things. The thinking is the most powerful, because our mind is a very, very powerful thing. We can make our minds believe anything we want it to believe. Uh, so, what you think is very important, but talking about control, you can't control what other people think. So, no matter if you do something that you think is silly or not, or dumb, like I said earlier, they might think it is dumb, but I can't change that. So it doesn't really matter if they think it or not. The only thing that matters is how I react to what they say to me or what they do to me. And until I learned that, I was so worried and so just limited with my life. And now that I know those things and what I can control and what I can't control, I feel so free.
Yeah, that's an amazing lesson to share. And I think I can relate to that so much, and probably so many people listening can. And that's so excellent. Like, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I think it's so true. Um, when we feel like we have to fit somebody else's mold, or when we're just so worried about what everyone else thinks, it makes you focus on yourself so much. And I remember once when I was younger, and I had that realization about um, me being, I knew I was way too focused about like my body image and how I looked, but someone had said something that made me realize that that focus was actually a form of pride. And I was like, that's not prideful. I probably have like no confidence because I think I'm ugly or whatever. And they were like, no, but you're putting all of your focus on yourself.
Mhm.
And it was this weird way to think about it that really made me realize, like, yeah, if I'm spending all of my time thinking about myself because I'm worried about what everyone else is looking at me as, I'm not being helpful. I'm probably not, finding ways to serve the people around me, or I'm definitely not putting my best foot forward, even in opportunities that are in front of me, because I'm just so worried about, what's going to happen. It's like, if you've ever walked down the street and you're like looking at your phone, you're looking down, you're looking at yourself, and you walk into something,
Yeah.
it's like you don't have your eyes up, and you're not able to even live out the journey and the road that's in front of you to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
So I think about that a lot, is like, how can we like let go of that focus on self and kind of like open up and realize, like, yeah, I can still take care of myself, and I can have a healthy relationship with myself, instead of being so focused on like, what do they think of me, like, what
Mhm.
are they looking at, like, how do I let go of that and just enjoy being who I am and enjoy the people around me. So
Exactly. Very true.
yeah.
To all my people out there, or to all your people, all the people listening, love yourselves, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else, and nobody else can love you if you don't love yourself. So love yourselves. Find a relationship with yourself.
Where can people find more of you if they want to know more about your work or just follow you on social media?
So on Instagram is kind of my platform where I put most of my stuff out there, and it's at Michelle Desormeaux. I don't. Do you want me to spell it out, or will you be able to?
I'll link it down here so people can find it easily.
Okay,
And we'll be tagging you as the podcast comes out. So
great.
yeah. Thank you, Michelle, so much for being on and for sharing about USNL and about your own life. It's been really awesome to learn more about you.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this platform to,
Yeah.
for being a vehicle for this. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Are you as pumped as I am? I cannot wait to register for this event. You can register by going to www.theultimateninja.tv. Now, you must be 18 or older to register. Again, the event dates are April 23rd through 25th in Miami at Pompano Beach, Florida. There is so much to look forward to with this competition, between the filming of Ultimate Ninja and the City Team Finals. It's going to be an incredible few days. And here at Ninjababes, we want to help you get to this competition. That is why when you go to registration, you can say you found out about this event through the Ninjababes podcast, and you can get half off your registration by using code Ninjababes, all caps. This is a big deal. That's $100 off your registration. And to make it even better, here at Ninjababes, we have decided that for everyone who is registered for this event using code Ninjababes, you will be entered into a drawing. And so in April, before the competition dates happen, we will be picking 3 names from those who have registered using our code, and we will then reimburse your registration if you are chosen. So we're picking 3 lucky winners to get their registration completely paid off by Ninjababes. That's right, you heard us. So use the code, be entered to get free registration, and we'll be picking those names in April before the event happens. be excited. We have another full episode from Jason Huey coming up in 2 weeks, and he'll be explaining everything you could possibly want to know about the course that's going to be at USNL, how they've built these obstacles, their whole concept behind this whole competition and TV series. So be looking forward to that episode. I can't wait to share it with you. Thanks for listening, Ninja Babes.
Be strong, be you, and be a Ninja Babe.